Hey Alan, it's Bree here with Allscapes Marketing. I wanted to go ahead and record this video for you as promised, going over your site, just a couple of the things I found, some of the other local competition, what they're doing to bring in calls, and just some things that you can do to bring in some more calls. So starting with your site here, see if you've got the open hours. I'd probably just recommend, not that this matters that much, but switching to a regular time format because a lot of people don't really know how to read that time format, so they might not immediately know, and they might not make the effort to figure that out. So you've got a nice heading here, have any questions, call to action, services. Usually you want to have a services drop down and you'll have a page for each service. So I would recommend having that so I can go ahead and click on the service that I want and read more about it. I know that this is a stock photo here just because obviously we do websites and I've seen this photo before. So I'd recommend probably getting some photos of yourself or your company in here. This definitely does look like a stock photo here. Same with this, and generally any of the people that have in this type of lawn, these are stock photos and people are most likely going to see through it right away. So I would recommend getting some of your own photos on here as people are going to know. Landscaper near you, you got 30 plus years of experience, love it. You've got a very nice looking site. So you have residential and commercial services, cool. And a little bit about your services. So it does look like you actually have individual pages for each service. I would just recommend putting those into the menu so someone can click straight to this page without having to scroll down. I'm sure they can do that on the services page too, but it's just another layer or more clicking that they might not do. So you want to make it as easy for people to find what they're looking for as possible. Reasons why you should choose us. 364 cups of tea. Okay, your recent project, beautiful photos. Customer says, this looks like a fake review. It might not be, but so obviously this one looks like a real review. I've seen some that have crazy names and usually they're fake reviews. So my piece of advice would I probably just wouldn't start with this one just because it does look like a fake. Or if you do start with this one, have it auto switch. It took so long to switch that this is the only one I saw. And a lot of the fake reviews I've seen that have been fake do have some kind of crazy names. Okie dokie. So feedback, appointment form. This is great to have. I would probably have one of these maybe a little smaller and higher up on the site just so people can fill it out right away. Your blog on the bottom of your site. So overall, you have a beautiful looking site. The biggest issues I'm seeing is one, not having enough content on here. So Google likes to see about a minimum of 1,500 words on your homepage, and this is for two reasons. The first reason being is that they have these crawlers that come through, they read the content, and they try to figure out what areas you serve and what services you offer. The more content you have on here, the more you're going to look like an expert. Now, you want to beat out your competitors. So if your competitors had 1,000 words, then you want to have 1,500 words and so on. Within this content, you want to have keywords, and keywords are things like Medford, landscape design, anything that people would be searching for when they're trying to find you. I've seen a couple of them on here, but there certainly could be more and be used more frequently to help your website be recognized, because when someone's searching for Medford landscape design and you have Medford landscape design all over your site, of course you have access to your name, but you know what I mean, you're going to be really relevant for that search. So there's other variations of that should be on here. Now, if I actually did a Google search for a landscaping company in Medford, Mass, these are the Google guaranteed ads or the local service ads. I highly, highly recommend running these. If you're not already, we run this for all of our landscapers. They have great results once they get started. They're very cheap. You only pay for real leads. If it's for some reason spam or something, you can dispute it. And I love these. These are a new type of ad that come out. So if you're not running them, I highly recommend you do. We've seen great results. And so this one we can see here, it says sponsored. This one in particular is a Google ad. But the rest of these are this is the map pack. And the top three listed here are the ones that receive a lot of the work. We can see you're actually listed right here in first position under sponsored, which is great. Great job getting yourself in here. The only thing I'm noticing at a glance is you have a lot less reviews, at least than Truly Lawn, similar to the Yard General, but your overall review is a little bit lower than the two of them. So you can go ahead and actually dispute and remove reviews if there's any fake ones, or if there's someone that didn't actually work with you. We can help you a little bit with reputation management, and then of course ultimately just getting more reviews, consistent reviews, to help drown those out and raise your overall rating. The websites listed below here, these are called the organics, and the same thing. You want to be on the front page and ideally within the top 3 so that people can find you. First one's Yelp, and we don't care about them, but let's take a look at Mike's Landscaping Co. So right away I can see it's not their homepage. They actually have a Medford landscaping page here. That's what we're looking at. They've got a lot of photos, what services they offer, ready to get started, some testimonials, a quote. Okay, there's really not a whole lot going on this page, so let's talk about why they're ranking. This is a paid program I use to research websites called Eros. I went ahead and put them into here so we can see what you're up against. The second thing I want to go over is UR and DR rating. These ratings are really important for where you fall within the Google search results. They're a little bit skewed because, right, we're not on the home page, and I don't want to get too technical, but the higher these numbers are, the better. And if we were to look at their homepage, both of these numbers would probably be pretty high, but for this specific page, their DR is pretty high and their UR is pretty low. And if we take a look at keywords, this is what I was talking about before. Medford, Mass landscaping, there's approximately 60 people who Google this per month. Landscaping, Medford, Mass, approximately 20. Lawn care, 20. Landscaping Medford, 50. Medford landscaping, 30. Lawn care, 20. All right, I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's obviously a lot of people searching for landscapers in Medford, especially when you start to break it down into individual services such as hardscaping or mowing or trees or whatever it is, and residential and commercial. You can see why it's really important to have these people finding you. If we take a look at your website's ratings, we can see your DR is really low and your UR is okay, but both of these need to be brought up. One of the main ways we can do that is through a backlink. So we can go through your competitors, click on what backlinks they have, and get those for your site. Essentially, all a backlink is like an endorsement on another website. So if there's another website that's endorsing you guys and they say, hey, go check them out with a button, that's all a backlink is. If we take a look at your keywords, we can actually see you're being found for some of them, but not all of them. Oregon, 6. Or it looks like you're getting picked up for some Oregon words, which obviously isn't helpful. Lawn care, Medford, 27th. Then more Oregon. So there's a couple words you're being found for. You're doing okay, but we definitely want to get some more of them on here and then start to break it up by service so that people can find you not only as a landscaper, but also for the specific services you want to focus on. So I hope that this is helpful. All I ask is just to hear your feedback and whether or not it was useful for you. Take care and have a great evening.